What's going on, everybody? It's Adam from Free Weights and Freedom, bringing you another episode of Getting Ripped with Tripp, where I attempt to bring you macro-friendly, easy meals that hopefully taste good as well. It's Meal Prep Sunday. You know how we like to do it in our group, and I had a request from somebody to do a paleo dish today. So that's what we're gonna do. Today we're gonna do a beef roast with vegetables, paleo style. So I'm not sure if cavemen back in the day had access to pot roast or beef roast. Probably more like woolly mammoth, but this was the best I could find at Hy-Vee. So what you're gonna need today for this recipe, obviously, is a beef roast. Between 2 and 3 pounds. Right here, I got just a nice Angus boneless beef pot roast. You're gonna need some baby carrots. I'm doing a lot because I'm gonna make probably 6 servings of this, so it looks like a lot, but it'll go a long way. Plus, I like the vegetables; they're good for you. Also, some white onions that are just cut and diced. The baby carrots, you can cut them up more, you can dice them more, you can get your own carrots or whatever. But I just brought a couple bags of the baby carrots, and then I did 2 medium to large sweet potatoes that I just peeled and diced, as you can see. It's quite a bit, so I think that's how they keep it paleo instead of using regular white or yellow potatoes. Either way is good though. You know me, I'm a flexible dieter, so I've used both the gold or red potatoes. They're both perfect. Also, you're gonna need some spices, so a teaspoon each. So I just went ahead and already did it in this little jar here. I mixed them already. But you're gonna need oregano, some garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, paprika, and then salt and pepper. Like I said, a teaspoon each. So it should have a nice little spice to it. My weekend review, normally I'd have like a rant, which I kind of had a rant in my group about getting an MRI on my pec, but I'll save that. As you guys know, some of you guys know, I did have an MRI this week on my pec muscle. I suspected I tore it all the way back in December. I had a lot of pain. I was getting ready for a powerlifting meet in February. Was feeling a lot of pain. I know the difference between an injury and pain. I just kept pushing through like an idiot because I had a competition coming up that February. Ended up still doing a mock powerlifting meet in February, which was not a good idea. So, basically benching and pulling on a torn pec. Kind of rested after that, was doing some physical therapy, but finally went back and had a look at it off it, and they did got my results back, paper form, and I do have a small partial tear of my pec, and then also a possible tear, or they said maybe a cyst in my subscapular. Thankful for some friends that took a look at my my actual paper results of my MRI and gave me some positive news. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers that I'll be able to take care of it with physical therapy, which I'll be back at Core Sports in Omaha on Tuesday. Appreciate Dr. Mark. He's going to take care of me. And then a buddy of mine at the VA took a look, and then also another friend of mine. So it looks kind of promising, so we'll see. But I'm actually going to, follow the doctor's orders this time instead of just keep pushing through. I'm actually going to rest it, heal it, go by what they say, follow the rehab, and then hopefully get back to benching and get back to powerlifting, because I have some goals in 2020 that I want to reach. So we'll see. But it used to bother me when I had injuries, which I think is normal. A lot of people that either compete in lifting or any type of thing, or even when they're hurt, the gym is a big part of their life. It is a part of my life, and it used to really bother me when I had injuries. But I had some really good advice from my powerlifting coach Patrick a few months ago, where he said, you're not defined by your lifting, which makes a lot of sense. Because honestly, if I was defined by my powerlifting, I'd be a pretty average person. I'd be pretty mediocre. But there's a lot. So for those of you out there who are maybe suffering setbacks or injuries and get super depressed about it and upset, that's normal to feel that. Process it. But just know you're a lot more than lifting weights. I feel like I'm definitely a lot more. There's a lot more to me than just going out to the gym and lifting weights. That doesn't define me. So that's just like some words of wisdom for you guys. Injuries suck, they do, but just know you're a lot more than what you do in the gym. So let's go ahead and get started on this. It's gonna be a very easy recipe. The first thing you're gonna do is take your roast. I'm using the Crockpot today, and the first thing you're gonna do is just take your roast. I'm just gonna stab it here, throw it in the Crockpot. Get this out of the way. The recipe says a 2 to 3 pound. This is about 2 3/4 pound roast. I just went ahead and weighed it and got the grams so I can portion it out to track my macros. But it ended up being like 1,168 grams. So that's how I kind of figure out my serving. So I can just kind of divide that by 6 and I'll know, you know, it's roughly 180, maybe something grams per portion if I'm doing 6. So that's just the way I do it. So once you got that in the crock pot, what you're gonna do is just take that, that seasoning mix that you mixed together and just sprinkle both sides of your roast with it first. So you don't have to use all of it, you can do both sides, but then you're also gonna, once you get the vegetables in, you're gonna sprinkle the rest of the seasoning over the vegetables. Just gonna do that. Just gonna use this and flip it over so I can get both sides. Sorry, I know you guys can't really see what's going on, but just know there is a roast in here and I am liberally sprinkling with this seasoning. You can kind of rub it in if you want. Kind of rub your meat if you're feeling that. If you want to get it really in there nice and deep. Boom, there we go. All right, so now once you got the spices on the roast, what you're gonna do is just go ahead and add in all your. Okay, so now we're gonna add in the vegetables, and I'm just gonna start with the onions. Doesn't really matter what you do, but just throw those in there. Quite a bit. Boom. Carrots next. Like I said, might look like a lot, but I think the vegetables will go a long way. And then just add the sweet potatoes. Boom. I'll throw some pictures on there too, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. But now let's take the rest of your seasoning that you got, sprinkle that over the vegetables. There you go. It's that easy. Now what you're gonna do is just cover and cook for 6 minutes. 6 hours. Crock pot's covered. I'm gonna turn it on low for about 6 hours. This is a pretty big roast and there's a lot of vegetables, so this might have to go a little bit longer than 6 hours, I think, on low, just because of the amount that I have in there, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll come back after it's cooked, show you the final product, and I think it's gonna be great. It's done cooking. It was right at about 6 hours, so I just went ahead and cut it up on the cutting board. I'm gonna portion it out into 6 servings. Got one right here that I started. You can see the carrots and the sweet potatoes and the onions. Smells really good. Give it a quick try. Some of the roast. It's good. Still pretty juicy. Not bad. Try a little sweet potato. Yeah, it's good. There you have it. Sorry. Beef roast with sweet potatoes, carrots, and onions. 6 hours in the crock pot. Really easy, really good. It's gonna make 6 servings. I'll post the recipe and the macros on Facebook. Appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of Getting Ripped with Tripp. But I think the most important part of today, boom, the wallflowers have been replaced. The plugins are replaced in the entire house. It's probably the best part of this video. So tune in again next Sunday for Getting Ripped with Tripp.